Hey, what up, dogs? Welcome back to Garo Heroes. For our last episode, we did some idling, and now we're slowing down a little bit, y'all, which means we're gonna do some clicking. Now, hold on. I want to use the quick shorthand tools. It's Shift C, and then you click, and it puts all of them on there at the same time. That's nice. That was nice of them to do that. And as promised from last episode, I leveled up to managed to level at the 11,500. Don't worry, it didn't take too fucking long. It basically took like a couple seconds. I got like a silver chest, and then boom, another 25 levels on Midas. That was just super nice. And now, I mean, once again, we started pretty early on this. We could have idled for a lot longer until we were grinding out these enemies. It's like slowly as fucking molasses, but it's actually more efficient to do things this way. The only thing is we're not going to be building a bunch of combo right from the very beginning. It's sort of like a slow start on the combo, but once again, it's much more efficient this way because, you know, if we were to wait, then like later on in the levels, the combo would start at 0, whereas right now we're just waiting to get to that point that was predestined by that situation that we have a combo that's already been started. Maybe it's only like a couple hundred clicks, maybe it's only like a couple thousand clicks. It don't matter as long as we started at least a little bit early. That's nice. Oh snap! What? Are we already losing momentum on the clicks? I think it has something to do with the fucking how early we started and the clicker combo being super low. So what I'm gonna do, you know what? No. What I'm really gonna do is I'm gonna wait 16 minutes to energize reload, because I don't need to use any abilities right now. That way I can reduce Dark Ritual cooldown by another hour, and then I'm gonna do this stuff. Speaking of fucking energized reload, I figured out what it is you gain from an energized reload, as opposed to like what I thought it gave me. Okay, so check this. I came across it like basically accidentally one time. I had clicked a B basically, and it ended up giving me like golden clicks or something. And I was already in like the clicker mode, so golden clicks was already on cooldown, but it used it again, so it had like the little golden circle around it, or golden square around it. So it has like hold on, I'm gonna the sound effects are starting to get to me because we're doing a bunch of clicks per kill, and I'm trying to talk about something important involving the game here. Okay. So a bunch of like, I think pretty much all of my abilities were on cooldown at this point, which I did as a mistake because what's it called? Because I had only just done like energized Dark Ritual reload, and then I had started hitting like other like what's it called? Oh no! I know exactly what happened. I did energize Dark Ritual reload, and then no. Sorry. Okay, let me go back. So what happened was instead of using my mouse to click energize Dark Ritual reload, I tried doing it using the number pad, and I fucked up. I ended up doing energize golden clicks, and I was like, oh shit. Okay, all right. So I sort of saved it by just clicking Dark Ritual after I click golden clicks, and then I hit reload. That way it still reloaded the Dark Ritual. But then I was like, how's this gonna fucking work with the energized reload, right? Oh shit, sorry. My computer's not plugged in. I'm almost dead here. There we go. Okay. Alright, so yeah, no, I was so yeah, I fucked up a little bit, but it ended up being fine because the reload still targeted Dark Ritual, because that was the last one I used before I hit reload. But then I was like, well, how's this gonna fucking work with energized reload? next time. Is it going to reload Dark Ritual? Is that going to work? You know? And I decided to do it. You know? And lo and behold, fucking, what's it called? I energized reload pretty much as soon as it came off cooldown. And Golden Clicks reloaded alongside Dark Ritual. Like their cooldowns both came off at the same time, basically. After that incident. So what you actually gain from an energized reload is that it doesn't energize the time of the reload. It's not that like it reloads it by 2 hours instead of 1 hour. It energizes the amount of skills that you used. So instead of reduce cooldown of the last skill you used by 1 hour, reduce cooldown of the last 2 skills you used by 1 hour. And that blew my fucking mind. I was like, wait, what? I mean, I guess it makes sense, because otherwise it'd be super like super cheesy to just energize reload and get 2 hours off of Dark Ritual, and then just like gets back on fucking track right there. You just fucking kick ass all day every day. And this is sort of like the in between, sort of the, you know, it's sort of like the compromise between the two extremes. It's just like, oh, and instead of just not having this combination of skills do anything, versus having it do like the most overpowered thing ever in between, and still somewhat somehow making sense a little bit. It's like, oh, okay, so just instead of one skill you energize, you reload 2 skills. And I was like, all right, yeah, no, I'll take that. And it makes it super cool actually too, because then if I do energize reload, I could still like accidentally hit one of these skills, and with with this, and still be okay. Speaking of which, I should probably toss that. Oh, I got nothing anyways, so that's fine. Let's do 15 minutes here. Let's do 15 minutes there. That's nice. 15 minutes. Okay. So yeah, I mean, now you know. This is the way the world works. It's this is the way the game works. Now we know that Energize Reload reduces the cooldown by an hour of 2 skills, not just one. The 2 of the last skills you used. And Energize does not count as that skill, which once again, I am it makes it so that it's not like super cheap, because if you just Energize Reload and it reloads your Energize and Dark Ritual, then you can use Energize on something else, and then it's like, yeah, you get it. It's like super overpowered. It's basically like a free Energize, which Energize is a very, very fucking powerful skill in and of itself. In the fact that if you use Energize along with Lucky Strikes, you basically get 100% critical clicks, and you know, if you level up these ancients high enough, then critical clicks do a fucking ton of damage and could like boost you forward like a billion fucking light years. So it makes sense that this is like their compromise. Once again, kudos to the developers of this game to make everything, you know, super balanced, right? I mean, then again, you know, people who like make fully fleshed out and fully fledged you know, RPG games like, you know, Elder Scrolls, you know, the fucking Final Fantasy, all that shit. They gotta like think about all this stuff as well, you know, to make everything balanced, of course. But yeah, but this one is just to some like ridiculous degree. Obviously, you would never play Final Fantasy once you've leveled up your characters to 100, because they don't go past 100. Well, it turns out our characters go past 100, and in fact, they're able to get to fucking level 11,500. So it's like, yeah, that's what we're working with here. I believe Nintendo has came out with a game that's sort of similar in style to this. obviously it's not as like, you know, bare bones as Clicker Heroes is, but it's, you know, but it's still sort of like the same idea where it's like, oh, you want the game to like play itself off screen to help you out a little bit in these like moments of, yeah, in these moments of, you know, just being the best that no one ever was. It's I believe it's called Bravely Default, you know. And I don't, once again, I don't know anything about the game. In fact, when the game first came out, I was like, oh, that sounds boring. A game that just plays it fucking self. But then I didn't understand that, holy shit, I'm playing a game that's like that, and I'm having a load of fun playing that game. So I guess it's, you know, it's the same sort of idea. Once again, I still don't know anything about Bravely Default. I haven't looked up anything about it, you know, since I came to this revelation. But, you know, that's the revelation I came to. It's just like, oh, well, I play a game like that, so how bad could it be? Maybe it's good, too, because fucking apparently 100 billion people bought the first game or whatever to the point where they came out with the second game called Bravely Second. You know, that maybe I'll look up gameplay for this game. Maybe I'll see what the fucking hype is about it. You know, it sounds interesting. It sounds interesting. Now that I'm understanding what's probably going on in the works there, but yeah, once again, even like even in a game like that, I'm sure that there's like a fucking limit to everything. Whereas in this game, there is no limits. No limits. In fact, like we're on the lower end of the spectrum here. I would like to think that I'm in late game, but just take a look at all of these fucking characters we have yet to unlock. Tucci and his last 5 right here. Not to mention the pathetically low amount of ancient souls that we have here. Let's go into our Transcension thing. Oh, no. I think it's here. Yeah. I have 55 ancient souls total, which, you know, if I'm to get into a late game like I want to, I need 500, so I only get like 10% of that. 11%, actually. Didn't it say 11%? 11%, yeah. Which, you know, the more Transcensions you do, the more faster you progress. Which is another thing I've been, like, confused about. Like, when do you do Transcensions? Huh? I guess it's, like, when it takes super duper long to get to your next Ancient Soul, but right now we're at sort of, like, a interesting place where it doesn't take super long to get to the next Ancient Soul. It just takes super long to do the fucking Ascension. It's 4 hours long, basically. It's gotten longer, actually, now that I've been doing these clicker moments at the end. So it's, I don't want to say it because my man, my confidant, my friend Den Ali, he's holding out hope for another 24-hour episode, like I did for episode 300, for my 100 subscriber episode, for the episode that marked 2 years on the channel, the episode that celebrated the holidays, you know, the big fucking one. He wants another huge fucking extravaganza like that. But if part of the game now is I have to click a bunch at the end of an ascension to like progress even more, then it's like I don't think there's a cohesive way to do that, you know? Because usually what happens is like we ascend, we start, you know, doing like idling all the way for like 4 hours until we feel some slowdown under King Midas's guild, and then it's like then we ascend again. But now it's like we're doing a hybrid build. So like once King Midas slows down, now we toss these clickers on, and clickers take another couple hours. So it's it's a lot, man. I could maybe do like 2 ascensions in the 24 hours, 3 if I was pushing it, but it's like, you know, I think what's most likely gonna happen. And once again, sorry to you, Mr. Den Ali, but what's most likely gonna happen is I'm not gonna do another one of those fucking things until I do another transcension. And then when we transcend, obviously we're going to start off in idle mode. We're not going to start off in active mode, because idle mode is the most powerful mode once you start off. And then, boom, do that a bunch until we're like almost ready to do clicker mode, and then maybe I'll do like a 24-hour episode where it's just like ascension after ascension after ascension for like 4 hours each ascension. So, and by then, if we do a transcension, we might have like leveled up our heroes and our ancients to the point where we're doing crazy fucking damage. So who knows? Maybe that's a thing. Maybe that's a thing that'll happen. Shit, we're doing like no damage to this fucker. Okay, no, I think we're gonna beat him. I need a Nogfish pretty soon though. Regardless, don't want to keep babbling on at the end of this episode. So like, subscribe, comment if you're enjoying the series thus far. I know I am, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace out.